welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Joy, for those who don't know me. For those who do know me, welcome back. I'm so sorry guys, I've been so busy. I've been missing in action. People are literally messaging me like, oh, where have you been? But I'm back. And today I want to talk about parenting. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more of me. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay guys, so the first question is, what advice do I have for new parents? Guys, even me too, I'm still a new parent. But so one of the things that I would advise new parents to implement in their relationship when it comes to parenting is definitely communication. Guys, you need to be very firm, you need to be very vocal about the things that you need from your partner or from any support that you have around you. Like, don't bottle things in and don't feel like you can do it all on your own. Because for me, like I said in the beginning, I had a very sacrificial mindset where I felt like, okay, you have to take on the load. This is your person, your responsibility, so you need to do everything on your own, right? Because I could not stand the sound of my child crying in someone else's arms. I felt like I'm punishing the person. But I felt like the only time that people can look after her is if she's not crying, if she's perfectly well, so they can just have fun with her, and then if she's crying, I'll bring her back. But I feel like that has drained me, because now my child is very much glued to me. She is attached. So if there's something that I would also advise new parents, is to get your child used to being passed around, get them used to other people so that you can have support. Because guys, the clinginess, it gets overwhelming sometimes, especially when other people are there to support me, but it's like they really can't, because she's just used to me, she's just used to my arms and everything. And guys, so if you guys have any tips on how I can even fix that, help me please, because that has not been easy, trust me. Because one thing about me guys, I couldn't let her cry for even 1 second. Like, if my child was crying, I would immediately pick her up. So guys, the next question is, how do you balance discipline and love? So me personally, I haven't been put in a position to obviously discipline my child because she's just a baby, but I believe when the time comes, disciplining alone can be quite intimidating for children or even just normal people, which is why I believe the healthy balance of love and discipline is very crucial in still maintaining that love between you and your child. Because I feel like there are certain parents who will set certain boundaries or discipline their child, and when the kids get curious and they're like, why do you have this rule in place, and leave it at because I can, or just because, and that child will perhaps seek answers elsewhere. And that is why I feel like the love comes in when you explain to the child why you have this rule in place, why you have chosen to discipline, and why their actions is gonna have repercussion. And then also explaining to them what happens when you do certain things, right? When you discipline your child, I feel like it's all about how you choose to execute everything. It's all about how you say those things. Guys, you know that there is so much power in how you say things, because I believe you could say the same thing in 2 different tones and it's going to be received completely differently, right? So I saw this thing where a child spilled orange juice around the parent, and then the parent got really angry with the child. So now the child, what that teaches them is to just never pour orange juice around you. But when you are a parent who's like, okay, you've poured the orange juice, you tell them that that's wrong. You tell them next time just come to me. And then you got the extra step of teaching them how to properly pour the orange juice. That is something that I'm so glad I saw right now, because now I get to take that on board for when it's my turn to deal with all these little silly mistakes that kids make. And that's another thing I'm trying to remember, that guys, they're just kids. So doing things with love, how you say things. But again, being a parent, you kind of have to really assert your dominance sometimes, because when you get too comfortable, they get too comfortable, and now it's just a whole mess. But me personally, I feel like the balance, again, it all goes into how you do it, and then also giving them, answering their questions, because kids are going to be so curious. Okay, what? And then telling them why you have those rules in place. Personally, that's how I'll do it, and that's how I understand the question. The next question is, what are some ways to model some healthy relationships for our kids? Guys, if you know anything about childhood trauma, it really plays a part in the partner, or the things that you look for in a partner, or the things that you tolerate in as an adult, from friendships or romantic relationships. I feel like the way that we can show our children what a healthy relationship looks like is the way you and your partner treat one another in front of the kids, because it truly matters, guys. You guys are literally what shapes their idea of love. Like, that is literally the only thing that they've seen in real life, so they're gonna look at that and they're gonna think, oh yeah, that is what marriage is supposed to look like, that is what I'm supposed to be doing. So whether you guys set a good or bad example, that will catch up with them as children. And luckily for me, I've always said that there's always two types of people in this world. There's a person who says, oh, because I experienced this hardship, I'm gonna make sure that other people go through it too, so everyone can feel the pain that I felt. Or there's other people like myself, which I absolutely love, are the people who are like, okay, no, because I went through this hardship, I'm gonna try my best to never let anyone else feel the pain that I felt, right? So I feel like as parents, I think it's kind of like a good thing to kind of display small signs, of course in a respectful manner, but small signs of love to your kids, right? Obviously, I come from a culture where they're very conservative, right? So you will never see, not never, you will rarely see that display of like affection in your eyes, which I don't know, sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes it could be a bad thing, but I feel like everything done in moderation is good. I feel like you don't have to now, do too much in front of your children, but I feel like from time to time, let them see you guys show a little bit of affection, right? So they know that it's there. Because I feel like as adults, obviously, we always say that you know how I feel about you without even me having to verbalize it to you. But I feel like with children, we need to see those things. Like, sometimes it's good for us to just have a peace of mind knowing that, yeah, it's like, it exists. Like, the love is there because I've seen my dad buy flowers for my mom, or because I've seen them hug, I've seen them surprise one another, or him take her out for a date or something like that. So I personally feel like those are little things that we can do to show our children what healthy love may look like. But I feel like yeah, those things are really good, but we know that everything sticks, or like, it's when challenges arise, it's when we go through hard things, that way is that is what shapes people's ideas of what a healthy relationship may look like, what a healthy way of resolving conflict may look like, based on what they observed from back home. So I feel like when things are rough, obviously not everything you have to resolve in front of your children, but I feel like if they have never seen it, how will they know how to handle it when it's their turn? So I think some little things, it's okay to explain to your children, obviously at the level that they understand, guys. I don't expect people to to now be dealing with like finances in front of a 10-year-old. I feel like that stuff is very I don't know, it's just very detrimental to their growth, and to the way that, to their relationship with money as well. That's not what I'm referring to. But I feel like sometimes with little things, you can just be like, oh, mommy and daddy are just kind of struggling to see one another from the same point. Just little ways that you can show them, but at least please let your children see you guys apologize to one another. Let them see the apology and the forgiveness, and then let them see how you guys move forward from any challenge that may arise in the marriage. I feel like those things are very crucial in their development, to learn that, okay, when I hurt my friend, what I do is we say sorry, because that's what I observed from my parents. I seen them say sorry and they forgive one another, and then they're back together. So you're teaching them how to communicate anything that they may be going through. Because one thing about children, they're gonna observe. Like, I think parents undermine the children's ability to like read them, but they know everything, they can see things, and they can interpret a lot of things. So when you guys choose to show them the good, but then also show them that not everything is perfect every single day. Sometimes it's important, especially the older they get, to kind of teach them how to handle conflict. How can we encourage our children to express their emotions safely? I personally believe that one of the best ways that we can encourage our children to express their emotions. Firstly, do not belittle them, guys. Sometimes little children feel intimidated to bring up a problem with adults because adults are going through much bigger problems. But I feel like it's really important to meet children where they are. And listen, it could be a problem that they've had at school. It could be someone stole their teddy bear, someone did this. Meet them there and show them that you hear them, you see them, and you feel them. Like, guys, I had this teacher in high school who used to say those words to me. She's like, Joy, I hear you, I see you, I feel you. And guys, I use the same technique with my little sister when she comes to me with anything. I'm like, Jess, no, I feel you. Like, sometimes, do you ever go to someone, not even because you need advice, but you just want them to understand you, you just want to be heard, you just want to know that, listen, I'm not going crazy. Do you feel me? Do you feel, are my emotions valid? So I feel like one of the ways that we can do that to make kids feel safe to open up is to not invalidate their problems. Literally, if you come to me about anything, I'm gonna meet you there and I'm gonna give you strategies if that's what you need. Firstly, ask them like, what do you need advice? Do you want me to just sit here and listen? And then don't ever make them feel like their problems are too small. And secondly, make it known to them that the space is there, that your ears are there to listen when they want to. When they have a problem, letting them know that, hey, the help is here when you need it, is also a really healthy way to encourage children to open up about, you know, whatever they may be going through. I think another way that is really good that I'm definitely going to implement is, if you have like lots of children, even if you just have one, but taking the time to take them out of the household to now get more personal with them. Because I feel like if you're in a house with like lots of siblings, sometimes you just may not feel comfortable to have certain conversation with your parents in the house. So taking the time out, like take your children out on dates, ask them about everything, ask them about their school life, ask them about their friendship, like really make it known that, hey, the intention of us coming out here is for us to connect on a deeper level, so you're caught up with what's happening in your child's life. So I feel like that's one thing I'm gonna do with Elora. Like, we're gonna go on dates just to catch up. And I feel like a different environment, the fact that you've now taken them from the home environment to another place where, you know, they're comfortable. If it's a restaurant, if it's something, if they like to do sport, take them out, kick the ball and open up. I think that's a very healthy way to encourage children to open up about you know, whatever they may be dealing with at school, friendships, just anything. So I really love that, and I'm gonna definitely do that with mine. What are some ways to promote empathy and kindness in our kids? Guys, I feel like for us, one of the greatest things that obviously that my parents gave me was the access to God, like knowing who God is, because I feel like that in itself, I'm such an empathetic person. My mom's also, my whole family, now that I think about it, there's not one person who doesn't display signs of empathy. Like we're a very empathetic family. But I feel like instilling really good values in your child just by introducing them to God, I feel like that's gonna help them so much, because I feel like, you know, God is literally love. Like, he is the definition of love. So if you do, he is love. So if you do introduce them to God, they're automatically, or they're naturally going to be practicing love and kindness. Because I feel like a lot of the things that we see on the outside start at home. It's everything, the foundation that you set in your home. What we see on the outside is just a result of what people are dealing with back at home, you know. So I think one way that I could help, you know, my child, or you could help your child, I think teaching them the value and the importance of being kind. Guys, it's actually the bare minimum. I feel like every human, you do owe people kindness, you know. As much as now we're in a society where people are like, oh, I don't owe you anything, I don't owe you respect, but I feel like at the core of being a human being, those values should kind of already be instilled in us from such a young age. The best way to teach kids anything is not even to tell them, it's to show them. So if you want to find, oh, how can I teach my child to be empathetic, how can I teach them to be kind, well, you display those good qualities and they're gonna observe from them. But you can't expect to teach them kindness when you're not kind. It's not gonna happen, right? Kids are just visual learners. They're just gonna see what you do and then they're gonna imitate that. and then naturally they're going to become kind if that's what you do. Like if someone's sick and you make them a meal, naturally those kids are going to think, okay, so when someone's sick, you know, this is what we do, without having to verbally tell them, oh, you have to be kind. Like obviously yes, there is an importance in that. I do believe so. However, it's just not enough alone, especially if they've never seen examples. Because imagine someone telling you, oh, you have to be kind, you have to be empathetic. Okay, firstly, why? But also I've never seen you do it, so how am I supposed to know how to even do that? So that's why I believe the best way to show your children how to be these things is for you to be them. And that is one thing, even I'm still learning, guys. I'm not perfect. However, I've learned that kids are not gonna listen, they're gonna see. So whatever you show them is whatever they're gonna learn. So me personally, that is how I believe is the best way to implement really good values in them. It's by you practicing them, you displaying them in the home. And then if you want to add the words on top, that's amazing. You can be like, okay, you know, we do this because of this. I do believe there's also a value in communicating with them and showing them why you're doing things, certain things. It's getting a little bit dark, but certain things that I personally will not be repeating when it comes to parenting, firstly, is comparison. As adults, we're very aware that comparison is a thief of joy. So it's really discouraging for your children when you start to now compare them to other kids, because you don't know that sometimes your kids may be another example in someone else's home as well, right? It's just like a never-ending cycle, because yeah, where someone lacks, somebody else may be doing a little bit better. But I just feel like I don't see the benefit of comparing your child to somebody else's, right? It doesn't do what you think it's gonna do. I feel like the intention is not to put them down. The intention is, yes, to like remind them of, hey, look, this person is doing better, so should you. But I just feel like there are other ways to show your children that. So I personally feel like I will not be taking that along, because I just don't see the benefits of it. And I think, what is the point of, you know, implementing something that doesn't even have effective results? I've never seen someone succeed and say, oh yeah, this is because I was compared to so and so. No, I don't think it's ever benefited anybody. So personally, that is something that I will not be doing moving forward. Another thing that I personally will not be doing when it comes to parenting is, I think for every criticism that I give my child, you also have to balance it with a compliment. Because I've learned that a lot of the things that we say to our children are gonna stick, and when you say something that you think it's small, or you say it in passing, you may forget it, but the child may not. So I do believe, yes, sometimes it isn't, not sometimes, it's definitely crucial to criticize and discipline your child for them to obviously grow. But I feel like I love words of affirmation, me personally, because I received it and it's just something that we do at home. So I just believe that I'm going to continue that and compliment them as well. Like when you're highlighting someone's weakness 99% of the time, and then you don't like care to bring up the good things as well that they've done, it's those kids who end up being like, oh, they never see my worth, or you never this. And that's another thing I learned. I learned to never say never. If somebody doesn't do something like one time or like a couple of times, but they've done it before, don't say, oh, you never listen, or you've never washed the dishes, you've never done this, because no, they have. So you have to be like more intentional with your words. But I definitely feel like kids need to hear that they're doing good from us. I think kids really seek validation from their parents, and it matters to just tell them, hey, thank you so much for this, good job, like, good job for today, good job for handing in your homework, good job. Like I'm really gonna me personally, I'm gonna be using a lot of words. I'm gonna show appreciation through actions, but verbally as well, because words stick. And I think there is nothing more comforting than knowing that you're doing well, especially from your parents. Like, I don't know, it's very validating to hear good feedback from your parents. But of course, criticism is necessary and it will be given, but also remember, it's all about how you choose to execute things. I'll always just stand on that hill. But yeah, guys, so that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.